welcome. Oh, are y'all feeling good? How is sound? Is sound okay? Light is weird. Hold on while I try to fix it. Thank you, Sal. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this shirt as well. And hello, everybody. Sal, Helen, Anastasia, Jack, Matt, Sebastian, Mrs. Jack, Sally, and all the others, and you two over at Rumble. Welcome. Oh, yeah. It seems like we have some kind of trial today, but as per usual, they haven't started yet. So what we're going to do is continue with the cross-examination of YSL Slug by Mr. Steele. And that will that's an hour and a half, roughly. And we will catch up sooner or later because they will continue with the cross-examination today. But Judge isn't in the courtroom yet. So, who knows? Oh, and we have a prime minister who is very, very dramatic. Very, very dramatic. And he's trying to get extra funding for our defense forces. And he's just being overly dramatic. So nothing to worry about over here. But thank you for being concerned. Yeah, and for we are close neighbors with Russia, and Sweden and Russia for the past 500 years. We have been at war, or allies, mostly at war with each other for half of those years. So yes, sick lawyer is back in court today. I know. I'm following along, but we are all waiting for that to start. So what we will do is to continue with what we started yesterday, the cross-examination of YSL Slug. So Mr. Steele is a good attorney, and he's making the state's witness a defense witness. He is pulling out information from Slug that benefits his defense of his client, Mr. Williams. So let's see what we can do here. This is still on the Monday stream. There was no court yesterday, but they will start today at some point. This trial is interesting to say the least. There, well, let's put Genius up there and my logo up there. And let's move on. Oops.
This is about 3A. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sir Ingram. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you kind of a little planning, we're going to go for probably a little less than an hour or thereabouts. Then we're going to recess for today and for the day, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do tomorrow. Okay? All right, Mr. Steele, whenever you're ready, whenever you get your AV set up, you may begin. Okay?
Yes, sir. And Your Honor, with the court's permission, can Mr. Kokomo approach Mr. Stevens and show him the exhibit on the computer?
As long as he doesn't make any furtive movements, he'll probably be okay, right? Do you understand what furtive means? Okay, don't worry about it. Just there's no sudden movements toward our witness, okay? All right, come on up.
Y'all hold get in line.
Yeah, good lower.
Sorry, my apologies. Yes.
Mr. Stevens, did you see those two items that you were just shown by Mr. Kokomo?
Yes.
And do they fairly and accurately depict what was depicted on the chat that we're going through, which is, I believe, Mr. Williams, number 2?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a better question. Is that part of the chat that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, both of them. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Your Honor, I will move. I'm not up to it yet, but I will move for the admission of, and I believe I marked it, Mr. Williams, number 3.
Any objection to Williams 3?
For clarity, is that just the last video that was shown?
These are 2. You should have 2 different,
Number 3, consists of 2 videos,
Yeah.
or just the last?
one picture, one video. Same exhibit.
Okay, there's no objection, Mr.
All right, so defendants 3, which is a photo, a screenshot and a video, are admitted. And may be published as you see fit.
Okay. Your Honor, can we go back to, I believe it's Mr. Williams, number 2, where we stopped before the last break. If Mr. Kokomo can put that back on where we were, Mr. Stevens, okay? Just orient yourself. We're just waiting for it to come on the screen, okay?
Good morning, Sock Snatcher. Welcome, welcome. Dun, dun, dun.
It should be loud. Thank you.
Yeah, Russia really haven't gotten over the fact that more or less the entirety of Russia and Ukraine were founded by Swedish Vikings. Claiming to be Slavic, but those came 400 years later. Oh, here.
While they're working that out, Your Honor, may I just proceed?
Yes, sir, certainly.
Okay. Mr. Stevens, I'd like to show you what I'm marking as Mr. Williams, number 4.
They are taking their time to get started.
Okay, Okay, while Ms. Love is looking at number 4, let's go back, okay, to where we were. This should be Mr. Williams number 2, is that right? That we were talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so, you see where it says now at the very top of page 1604 on Mr. Williams number 3, you see that? And you already talked about that, right? The 87 billion piece?
Yes.
Okay. And then, if you go down the next one, it's the authors underscore all hundreds dot rel, right?
Yes.
They tripping now. Tell ladies and gentlemen, Jerry, what that means to you in this context.
It looked like he was talking about the amount that this person said he paid for his implant,
And what type of implant?
diamond implant into his forehead.
Okay. And then the next one, 2BZG9 cap. You see that?
Yes.
And what does that mean? Capital K.
He's saying that he don't believe the first author.
All right. Now the next one I'd like you to focus on. The author is Thugger1. Whose Instagram handle is that?
Jeffrey Williams.
All right. And this is again February 4th, 2021.
Yes.
And do you see what Jeffrey Williams wrote?
Yes.
What did he write?
YSL rule the world kid, 24 M in head.
Okay. I'd like to now show you your next line. You responded thereafter, right?
Yes.
4 minutes later or 8 minutes later, approximately?
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
And that's the same date, February 4th, 2021 we're talking about?
Yes.
And this is all in the indictment, right?
Yes.
And then you wrote what?
Came from nothing for something.
All right. And then there's another video being shared on the next person, right?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to now play for you. You've already identified Mr. Williams number 3 and 3A, okay?
Yeah.
And showed you, and you walk the jurors through what it is. Can you show?
Yes, I've heard about the allegations against Fanny Willis. And since it's trial day today, if it hadn't been a trial day today, I would have we would have watched this and then gone through the allegations against Miss Fanny Willis. So yeah, and I have the documents here somewhere. I have access to the actual document, so we can read it. But since it's trial day today, that will happen Friday, where I will go through those papers.
When you can you play it with sound, please? Can you restart it with sound, please?
Come on, hey, y'all get in line. Slide through the world with me on their heads. Put 24 on their head. Y'all get in line.
The echo is in the
Who is that speaking?
not from me.
Jeffrey Williams.
And what did he say, ladies and gentlemen, jury, to your understanding? And what's he talking about?
He's saying he's talking about Uzi putting the diamond on his head. He's saying the price of what they're saying that the diamond costs. And he's saying YSL rule the world.
Show, please, Mr. Kokomo, Mr. Williams number 3. You see that picture on the right?
Yeah.
And who is that, if you recognize that person?
Overt.
And the rapper that you talked about earlier?
Yeah.
And what is on the center of his head, or purportedly, that means what's it supposed to be?
Implant of a diamond.
And does he say $24 million?
Yes.
All right. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury, is that what the chat was about that is referenced in overt act number 127, count 1?
Yes.
What does that have to do, just tell the ladies and gentlemen jury, with expanding and helping the reputation of YSL gang? Tell them.
Tell them.
Yeah. How does that help the reputation in a criminal setting of a YSL criminal street gang? How does this statement by Jeffrey have anything to do with a crime?
I don't know.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury how this increases street credibility for a gang crime organization.
I don't know.
Okay. Tell them how this increases notoriety for a criminal street gang. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury how this overt act, what was taken by the prosecution in this chat, does that.
I ain't never said any of those things. Yeah.
It's in your plea agreement, right?
Objection, Your Honor.
In your plea, hold on, basis.
Not that.
I'm gonna rule the objection. Go ahead.
It's in your plea agreement, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It's also in the indictment, right? You're familiar with it?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, this chat, is this public? Meaning, if one of the jurors or the court reporter wanted to read it without being a search warrant from law enforcement, were they included in this?
No.
Was this anything to broadcast to people to beware of YSL, the criminal street gang?
No.
This has nothing to do, this is just friends talking, right?
Right.
I'm going to show you what I marked, shown to district attorney, Mr. Riggs, number 4. If I can approach your honor? Yes, sir. Yes, I said yes. Mr. Steve, I'm approaching, okay?
Yeah.
It's number 4. Anything, by the way, before we leave Mr. Williams, number 2, anything else significant about that chat that has applicability to any type of criminal activity for a criminal street gang or some criminal organization?
No.
Okay. Take a peek, if you don't mind, at number 4 of Mr. Williams, dated today.
Hello, Christine.
And familiarize yourself with that as best you can, and just tell us when you're ready to discuss it, okay?
All right. It's a lot. I'm just reading over.
That's fine. I couldn't hear. I apologize.
I read.
I couldn't hear. I apologize, Mr. Stevens.
Checking in on the court stream for today, and they don't seem to have started yet. They are all there, but you're isn't in yet.
I'm on 5Ds and attachments.
One more time.
I said I was flipping through the last one because they just attachments.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to read.
Okay, that's fine. Take your time. Tell us when you're ready.
All right.
Does what is shown to you as Mr. Williams number 4, does that accurately depict the chats that you were included in around the time in February 2021 that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And are there anything that you remember, except for the attachments? I know it's paper, there's no attachments, but is it accurate otherwise?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for Mr. Williams number 4 to be admitted into evidence.
Any objection to defendant Williams 4?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defendant Williams 4 is admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Mr. Kokomo, can you try that for him? Thank you. Okay, now, Mr. Stevens, the date that Mr. Williams number 4 starts is February 6, 2021. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And you're looking at the top of page what?
1698.
All right. And you've been able to scan through this. Do you remember this chat?
While we're waiting for something interesting to happen, please hit that.
Trying to remember is that
thumbs up.
direction the conversation was going in. But yeah, I remember it though.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear what you said.
I said I was trying to remember the exact direction that the conversation was going in with.
And is it fair to say that this chat is about different things, but it's about paying rent money?
Yes.
And who was the participants about who's paying rent, the concern about paying rent? Who was talking about that?
Or blow my nose.
Want me to go through and read?
If you don't mind, just tell us who the people are that's talking about paying the rent. And tell us what page you're on and where you're looking.
All right.
You look at page 1, by the way?
Yeah, I'm on first page.
Okay. And that's 1698?
Yes.
Okay. And just tell us where.
So I started at the bottom of 1698.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo, if you can go there. No. Okay. And is that you, the third one up from author on the bottom, underscore 1 slug? You see that?
Yes.
Okay, now this is the 6th of February 2021, right?
Right.
Before we go too far, is it fair to say that this is now 2 days after the little Uzi Vert 24 M's on an N's head? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So in the indictment, when it has count number 127, and it states that this is on February 4th, 2021, this next series of conversations is actually 2 days later. Fair to say?
Your Honor, it does not say count 127.
Sorry. I agree.
Why don't you just rephrase, Mr. Steele?
Overt Act number 127. We're now about the last part. If you look at Overt Act 127,
Yeah.
it says, y'all just start bringing me the money, manual, and stop playing with me. See that?
Yes.
This is 2 days later, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now let's go. So we're at the bottom of the first page on Mr. Williams number 4, and it says, since everybody, you see that where you wrote that?
Yes.
All right. And it reads, since everybody on the tight, I think it means time, let's chop up 1,500, or let's chop this 1,500 up that we do yesterday the 5th. You see that?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, what exactly you're talking about.
When I said since everybody on the tight time, they on above. You got 2 guys talking about the Chiefs and the Buccaneers game. So that's what I mentioned by the time they on it. They was trying to bet on the game, and I was short on the rent.
Okay. And you sharing this place with other people? Did they have to potentially chip in, or should they have potentially chipped in for rent?
Yeah.
That was your position.
Yes.
And they're betting on football.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you turn, and if you need to do it differently, just do it. But if you turn to page 3 of this document.
Go to 3.
Actually, 2, the very top of 2.
Mine not number 1, 2. Mine number 1699.
Go up a little bit. Go up a little bit. 1699 is perfect. Just go up a little more, see who wrote that, please. This is 4KT. And what's he talking about there? You see where he writes on 1699, the very top?
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
I'm one of the ones ready to pay whatever he need me to pay.
What's he talking about as far as you remember in context?
He's saying if someone needs some help, He ready to help.
And what's it for?
For rent.
Okay. And rent means on a house, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then if you keep going down on that page, 1699. Anything on that page that is important to the rent?
Yeah, I said nobody paid these people.
Okay. And what are you talking about?
He went on the stand.
The people we were in the house for.
Next line that you
Then
wrote?
Thursday, and then Monday.
What does that have to
They
do
will
with?
continue.
Y'all can just put what y'all got in the kitchen whenever y'all come in.
And what is that pertaining to?
Like basically, if you got something toward putting toward the rent, you just leave it in the kitchen and I know what it's for.
Okay. And then Thugger 1 is right after that saying yo. You see that?
Yeah.
All right. Then on the next page, unless you tell us it's something else that's important to the context of this chat, this private chat.
Yeah.
See where it says can't afford no 1,500 month? On page 1,700.
Yeah.
And who is writing that?
Me?
Okay. And this pertaining to what? The rent?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it fair to say that this whole chat, there's other things, there's football in there, there's other conversations, but it's about rent?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you go to the middle of that same page, you see where it says, I paid last month?
1701. What page is it?
Hold on one second, Mr. Kokomo, show page. Go down, Mr. Kokomo. Go up a little bit. See on 1,700,
Yeah.
talking about rent?
Yeah.
Okay. And you see where it says on the next page, which is 1701,
Yeah.
the middle of the page, you see where it says, middle of the page, Mr. Kokomo, when you get a chance? See where you wrote the center of the page, you all know I paid last month rent by myself. Here goes some right here. Slug, I know what you did. You see that?
Yeah.
You're talking about what?
I paid the rent by myself.
Okay, no one's helping you pay rent, right?
Yeah.
And you're struggling at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you go to anything, tell us if we're skipping anything important. But otherwise, if you go another 4 pages on the bottom, see where Jeffrey comes in? Thugger. See where it says probably you, Slug, probably paid. You see that?
What page you on?
You paid? Let's see.
Oh, yeah. That's
What page are you on, sir?
1705.
1705, Mr. Kokomo, if you don't mind. See where it is right there? Third one on the screen. Thugger 1, probably you, Slug, you paid it.
Yeah.
Boy, you see that?
Yeah.
What's that talking about, sir?
He saying he proud of me for paying the rent.
One more time?
He saying he proud of me for paying the rent.
Okay. He's proud of you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next page. See where Jeffrey Thugger wrote, bring me the money?
Yeah.
What's he talking about? You see that? Just start bringing me the money, really?
Yeah.
Talking about paying the rent and you guys can pay him back?
Yeah. So, no.
Okay.
He was basically saying, because he was helping out, and he was basically saying, like, I'm helping out while my money ain't making it to the right person's hand that it's supposed to be making it to.
Okay. He's helping guys out with the rent, right?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with, you see overt act number 127 in your indictment?
Yeah.
That helping out with the rent was on the 7th of February 2021, right?
Yeah.
3 days after the $24 million surgically implanted on the gentleman's head, right?
Right.
What do they have to do with one another?
None.
Okay. And what is so sinister about Jeffrey helping out when you can't pay the rent? Sinister is a bad word. Let me repeat. What is y'all start bringing me the money have to do with increasing the reputation of a criminal organization? Tell the jurors.
Your Honor, I'm going to object.
Basis.
The court should give the law.
This is, I'll sustain it. You can rephrase it, Mr. Steele, okay?
This is in your plea agreement, right?
This being what, sir?
This statement is in your plea. You agree that this
Why
is,
are you referring to it?
okay, number 10, I believe, in your plea agreement? I believe it's number 10. If I'm wrong, just correct me. Is it?
Yeah, it said I participated in the group chat.
Right. With this line, right? With this line in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury how this private chat about rent has anything to do with enhancing the notoriety, the street credibility, the reputation of a criminal organization.
I agreed to this because it said that I participated in a group chat and that's what I did. So,
I understand. Let's go to the chat though. Why is that chat
I ain't,
inappropriate?
I only reason I agreed to it because it said I participated. I ain't no other reason.
There's nothing to do with any crime, right?
No.
Your Honor, I object again.
I'll sustain the objection, Mr. Steele.
You were part of this conversation, right?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury how this conversation had anything to do with any crime that Jeffrey participated in at all.
Your Honor, I object.
I'll sustain it's the form of the question, Mr. Steele. You may need to rephrase it.
It doesn't really matter because now
Mr.
it's in
Steele.
the mind of the jury.
Because this conversation that the jurors just went through, they can read the whole thing, they'll have it. It's in evidence, okay? Have anything to do with Jeffrey involved in any type of crime that furthers the interest of any gang in any way.
Your Honor, I object.
He's part of the conversation.
The law.
I sustain the objection.
What's the conversation about, sir?
One of them was about an implant and one of them was about rent money.
Okay. Now, I'd like to talk with you about overt act number, if you could turn to it in your indictment. 132. Do you see that?
Yes.
And I'm going to show you. Can you do me a favor? Take a peek at this. I've already shown it to district attorney. I'll go to market in a minute. Just tell me whether that, can you hold it to me for a second, is copied exactly the way it is in the indictment.
Yes.
Your Honor, marking it as Mr. Williams, number 18, for demonstrative purposes, asked to display to the jury.
Any objection to defendant's 18 for demonstrative?
I believe it's
Any objection,
No
Madam?
objection.
All right, defendant's 18 for demonstrative purposes is admitted, may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, sir. I'm putting it on the easel. Mr. Stevens, it's the same thing. You could use the indictment if you need to see it behind you. It's right behind you, okay? Mr. Stevens, I'm going to show you Mr. Williams, number 7. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may, sir.
Tell me whether you take a peek at this, if you don't mind, sir. Tell me if you can recall and recognize what I've marked as Mr. Williams, number 7. So, this is it.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I understand why the prosecution objects. I just don't get why it's sustained because she used this chat in as evidence for criminality. But when it's read in context, it's about a guy implanting a diamond in his forehead and rent. So it's cross-examination. And he's reading.
And, do you,
I read it.
okay, and, do you recognize what I've marked as Mr. Williams number 7?
Yes.
And is it accurate, meaning, is it, to the best of your memory, what was, the chat?
Yeah, this in check.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 7 into evidence.
Any objection to defendant Williams 7?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, defendant Williams 7 is admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Okay, now, Mr. Stevens, while Mr. Kokomo has put this on the screen, this date now is, approximately, what is it, May 13th, 2021, is that correct? That this chat is going on?
Yeah.
And again, this is an Instagram chat, correct?
Yes.
And it's between you, Mr. Williams is on there as Thugger 1, right?
Yeah.
And then other people, friends are in there, right?
Right.
And this is not something that's public, is that true to say?
Right.
This is just a private conversation until now it's in open court, right?
Yes.
All right, and in this group text, and it starts at page 3242, you see that at the top?
Yeah.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, what's being discussed?
I'm trying to see if I can remember. So you want me to read it from the top?
We could, but do you remember? Did it refresh your memory about a gentleman?
I read it before.
Okay,
I mean, of course, this was one of my overacts in the indictment.
right,
That's why I read it.
okay.
And I was then trying to make some sense out of it.
Okay, well, let's tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, what is. Is it fair to say there's a man named Instagram handle, Gutta, Gutta, on this?
Yes.
And you're having conversation along with other people
Yeah.
with Gutta, you remember that?
Yeah.
And is it fair to say that Gutta falsely told your girlfriend that you were cheating on her, something like that? Is that true?
I feel like that could have been what it was about.
Okay, well, let's go through it. The first one is on page 3242. That's just an attachment. You see that?
Yeah.
And you wrote, put my life on the line for the gang, but they left me out and dry like a wet t-shirt. You see that?
Yeah.
And then you attach something, fair to say?
Yeah.
All right, and then the next one is plenty with 2 Y's, and then there has the 2 triangles we've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one, plenty is saying in the body, Gutta lane, right?
Yes.
And Gutta is a person
Right.
on this chat, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then Gutta responds, keep my name out of your mouth. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, and the next one is plenty, YY. You heard what I said, any N running to the gram about SHIT. He can text an N is lame. So you lame N, now what? You remember that?
Yeah.
And then Gutta responded. What are they talking about?
Yeah, I feel like Gutta was telling people, girlfriends, what they were doing, and I feel like it was something about that though.
Okay, and when you say telling people's girlfriends about what they're doing, people on this text, right, on this
Yeah.
chat, and telling them about that they may not be faithful to the girl, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, and then as we go down it, you start responding on the next line, right? You keep going, make you look weak, right? Make us look weak.
Yeah.
Keep going. And you guys are arguing about this, right? On the text, on the chat.
Debate, arguing.
Debating or arguing. Okay, and keep going. And it's the same back and forth, fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay, and you keep going. And then eventually Jeffrey handle comes on, Thugger 1, right?
Yes.
Right there. You see at the very bottom of page, and on the screen it says Bash What Gang.
I see it.
Okay, keep going down. And that's now page 3244. And then Thugger 1, where Jeffrey's handle says, y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet, right?
Yeah.
And that's the part that's captured in Overt Act 132, right?
Yes.
And then the next line is y'all ends getting soft, right?
Yeah.
Who is Jeffrey talking about? You ain't beat him up or shot him yet. Do you remember?
if he said that, I feel like he was saying,
Your Honor, I object to speculating.
I sustain the objection.
But do you remember?
so I mean, what he was talking about or who he was talking to?
Yeah, I mean, he was talking to who? Who's Jeffrey Williams or Thugger 1 talking with? In the chat.
I'd be talking to both of us.
Right. And how did you take it?
Like, I'm surprised y'all ain't beat each other up or shot each other up yet. Y'all seem like you're arguing about some female stuff.
Meaning you and Gutter, right?
Right.
Or Gutter, excuse me, right?
Right.
What does this have to do with anything involved a crime organization?
Objection,
Mr.
Your
Chairman.
Honor. Support will be the law.
This is not,
I sustain the objection.
not asking for the law, Mr.
I
Stevens.
sustain the objection, so.
Underphrase. This private conversation was telling two friends, stop it, right?
That's what I got from him, yeah.
All right. Okay, I'd like to show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams number 5. Approach one.
You may, sir.
I am going to approach you, with your permission, Mr. Stevens. Number 5, Mr. Williams, if you take a peek at that, tell me if you recognize that as part of the chat.
As it seems, it's just people talking. And as it seems, Mr. Williams are telling two guys to shut up. I mean, or something of that sort, but in other words.
Remember that, Mr. I'm not rushing, Mr. Stevens. Take your time.
Can I get what's before this? I don't know. Can I get what's before this?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Oh, you asked me, do I? What you asked?
We're going to get you what's before, and then we'll get you several things. That's what you need.
Yeah.
No problem. Let me show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams number 7, I believe. I'm not sure. Number 6, I apologize. Tell me if you recognize this, okay? The first John?
You may, sir.
I will get you one page of the other one, okay? Can I take that other one back to the room?
For you who just joined, we are watching the last of Monday's cross-examination of YSL Slug, Mr. Stevens, and then we will catch up on today's court. Because they only do about an hour and then it's lunch. So we will catch up today.
Remember that one, Mr. Stevens, and I'm not trying to rush you.
I don't remember, but I'll read it.
No. We're going to put it down. All right. Thursday, you were asked questions about on your birthday being at going to see, paying $500 to go see one of your favorite artists. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And you were asked a question or a series of questions. Why weren't you with Mr. Williams in Louisiana on your birthday? You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk with you about that. Have you ever been taken by Mr. Williams to his concerts?
Yes.
Have you ever been taken on tour or part of a tour with Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Let me show you what I'm marking as Mr. Williams number 19. Tell me whether you recognize this. My first John? Yes. Take a look at that. If you don't mind. Can I take this one back?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, it's laying foundation to that whatever Mr. Williams was telling Slug in those chat
Can you look at that, Mr.
messages
Stevens? Tell me whether you
has
recognize
nothing
it.
to do with any crime. And even if it's the objections are sustained, it's still out there.
You recognize that?
This?
Yes, sir.
No.
All right. Do you remember Mr. Williams going on a tour of the United States American performing in year 2015?
I know about the rodeo tour, but I've never seen that book before.
That's fine. That's fine. Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, if the rodeo tour was Mr. Williams touring and performing throughout America.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember he was touring with another artist?
Yes.
Do you remember who that artist is?
Yes.
What's the artist's name?
Travis Scott.
Okay. And do you remember that tour started? Let me take a moment. On February 28th, 2015. Do you remember approximately that date? That's okay. Do you remember the cities and the states that were toured?
No.
Do you remember California? Does that sound right?
So I know that it was like Western states. That's why it was named rodeo or something like that.
And were you allowed to go on part of that tour?
Yes.
And do you remember what city or cities or states you went to?
No.
That's okay. And do you remember there came a time that you and others were accused of wrongdoing on that tour?
Yeah.
And that is committing crime, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you remember Jeffrey Williams repaying any victim of those crimes?
But I ain't commit no crime though.
Okay. Do you remember him? I'm not saying you did, but you were accused. Somebody thought you did, right?
Yeah.
True?
True.
Do you remember Mr. Williams paying people who lost their property, trying to make it right? You remember that?
I don't know like what happened. What happened behind the application?
I couldn't hear you.
I said I don't know what happened about behind it.
Is it fair to tell ladies and gentlemen jury that you were sent home from that tour?
I was saying, oh,
You were told by Jeffrey that you could not continue, right?
right.
Okay, so when the district attorney asked you later that year on your birthday, why weren't you in Louisiana? You were actually sent home from a tour, right?
Yeah.
Now, the district attorney said a lot of questions to you about YSL like they're one. Do you remember all those questions? Like YSL is like a group, always together. Remember all those questions?
Objection compound.
I stand the questions to form. You can rephrase it.
Okay. Do you remember questions about YSL is together? Remember that? Or ask you those questions?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Williams, from early life, he was not on Cleveland Avenue much, was he?
No, not early.
He separated from Cleveland Avenue because he was working, right?
I don't know what the reason was, but yeah, he went there.
And he was working at the same craft that he does today. He's a performer, right?
Yeah.
And you knew that eventually he had homes, various homes, right?
No, I know.
You never knew he had homes in California?
Oh, I know now, but yeah.
Okay. And you weren't with him, right?
Yeah.
He didn't put you on the lease, right?
No.
He didn't take you with him, right?
Right.
He didn't pay for you to get out of Cleveland Avenue, right?
Right.
In fact, he didn't do that for anybody there that you grew up with, right?
I know about me.
Okay, we'll talk about you. But Jeffrey would encourage you, isn't it true? And gave you opportunities to have a job with him if you wanted it, right?
He would encourage me to start selling drugs.
One more time.
I said he would encourage me to start selling drugs.
Yeah, he wanted you to stop committing crime, right? Tell the jury.
Yeah.
And he offered you jobs like you can carry bags for the group when they tour, right? Tell the jury.
Yeah.
And he gave you opportunities to try, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but try to perform rap music in the studio, right?
Yes.
He gave you opportunities, if you wanted it, to possibly try to organize, because they do a lot of packing up the equipment and the luggage, right? And pack for people, right?
It was an opportunity for me, man.
But you wanted the instant money like a theft, right?
Yeah. I wasn't trying to do none of this stuff, man.
I can't hear you.
So I wasn't trying to do none of this stuff.
I don't know what you need. Just explain your answer to it.
Yeah, I want instant money. Yeah.
And what Jeffrey was offering you is not, he wasn't just going to give you money, but he gave you opportunities to change your life, right?
Most definitely was an opportunity.
I couldn't hear
Yes,
you.
it was an opportunity.
And he gave opportunities, if you know, to everybody in poverty. True? If they wanted to work hard.
Now, I'm going to check the speculation regarding everyone.
I sustain the objection. It's overbroad. Go ahead and rephrase it, sir.
To your knowledge, Jeffrey made that same commitment to other people who were struggling. True?
I'm going to object.
Still, same issue, Mr. Steele. I'm staying the objection. It's overbroad. So rephrase it, please.
Do you know whether Jeffrey made that offer to others?
Still broad. You want to make it a little specific, more specific?
Did Jeffrey give an opportunity for lawful work in YSL record company music to other people?
Foundation.
If you know.
I sustain the objection.
Mr. Stevens. Eventually you got off drugs, right?
After prison.
Couldn't hear you.
After prison.
And you don't do drugs now, do you?
No.
And when you went to prison, that's different than the jail. That's different than Fulton County Jail, right?
Yes.
And prison is horrible too, isn't it?
Yes.
You're away from your kids, right?
Yes. Yes.
You could be 5 hours away, depending upon where you're put, right?
That's true.
Dangerous.
Yes.
And when you've been in prison before, how often did Jeffrey Williams come to see you?
You can come see me.
I can't hear you.
None.
So according to the prosecution, you're business partners, right? That's what they're saying. You're co-founders. You really didn't co-found anything with Jeffrey. Isn't it true? He went one direction, you stayed in another. Isn't that true?
That's an interesting
We
question.
went separate ways.
But Jeffrey never turned his back to you. He always made himself available if you needed something. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
He let you come to his home, right?
Yes.
If you were going to be put out from your house, he would pay that money for you one time, right?
You help out.
I can't hear.
You would help out.
Okay. But most importantly, he wanted you not to live a life of crime. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Mr. Steele, it might be a good time to just to put a pin in for today. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5:15, and as I mentioned to you earlier, just 1 second.
All right, that was the last of Mondays. So now, finally, we go live on today's trial. Sharing. That's today. Full screen. Sound. Unmute. We are only 6 minutes behind. Court today was, let's just, over an hour and a half late. They should have started 9:30. They started roughly around 11. But yeah, and we will probably catch up because they are in half an hour. They are going to lunch. So during lunch, we will go through the allegations towards Fanny Willis, the district attorney, that she is having improper relations with the special prosecutor in the Trump RICO, because that could spill over to this trial as well. And we'll go through this, but first let's listen to today's court. That's been a while. Yeah, as far as I can tell, too, as well. He just testified that Jeffrey Williams wanted him to stop doing crimes. And Mr. Slug, at the time, didn't want to stop doing crimes. So, where's that criminal enterprise? Where? Yeah, but let's go to today's. And Mr. Steele continues with cross-examination. Yay!
Morning, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Sir, I'm going to show you what's already been admitted. It states exhibit number 23UU.
Hey-o.
Your Honor, may I approach you? May, sir. May I approach you, Mr. Stevens? You could turn to, if you don't mind, over at number 155 in that document. Do you have those? Tell me if you need help finding it, okay?
And Your Honor, just for clarity, is that 23 uniform? I heard you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you. Did you find that, sir?
Yeah.
Can you just do me a favor at the bottom of that page? What page number is that, just for the ladies and gentlemen who are following along?
55.
Thank you. I'm going to show you what I'm marking as Mr. Williams number 20.
And that's what we're at 155.
May I approach?
You may, sir.
May I approach you, Mr. Stevens?
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor? Just make sure that that is an identical, you know what I mean, but just over that 155, just make sure that they're the same.
Understood. I need to approach Mr.
Okay, come on up.
And the first thing that happens is a sidebar, which brings us sidebar number 50 in this trial. Yeah, we will catch up much sooner than anticipated. I'm skipping ahead. Skipping ahead. There, it seems like... Oh, we are 25 minutes behind. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Steele, based on our conversations with Ms. Love, are you going to withdraw that exhibit?
I am going to withdraw temporarily. I'm
Okay.
going to fix it, and yes.
That's fine, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. You may continue whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay, may I approach, Your Honor?
You may, sir.
come back to overt act 155, just have to amend something. Can you look at 156? Tell me if it comports with what I've now marked, Mr. Williams, number 21 from today's date. And when I say comport, that's bear with it. Just tell me if it's identical, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm moving for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 21.
Any objection to defendant Williams, 21?
It is I don't object as it is from the indictment.
Okay, all right. Defendant Williams, 21 is admitted and may be published as you see fit.
And Mr. Kokomo assists, Your Honor. Mr. Williams, you see on your screen, it should be next to you or behind you. Does that depict what is, or is that the same as what's in Mr. Williams, number 21? What's on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. And this comes out of the indictment. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And you were charged in the same indictment, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. With regards to overt act 156, do you see it's the date of January 16, 2022 is alleged?
Yes.
And do you recognize the gentleman in that photograph?
Yes.
And who is that gentleman?
Jeffrey Williams.
Okay. And it states that an associate defendant, Jeffrey Williams, an associate of YSL, to appear in a video released on Mr. Williams' Instagram account, flashing a Bloods, quote unquote, gang sign overt act and furtherance of conspiracy. You see where that's written?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury whether you know, based upon your experience and your lifestyle, whether Mr. Williams is showing with his left hand a Bloods gang sign.
Tell him if I know or not.
Yeah.
Tell him if I know what he doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them what it is.
We had a record out at the time called Pushing P. So he making a P in reference to the song.
So he's not doing a blood sign. He's doing the pushing P sign, which means overt act 156. Simply not true. How about that? And as you see, this is count 1, which is the RICO charge. This is overt act number 156. And if you've been with me for a while, I've said this before, there are over 160 overt acts under the RICO charge. Yeah, of course, if we believe the witness. But, yeah.
Okay, and are you familiar with the video of that song? Songs sometimes come along with videos. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know whether, Mr. Williams, you already referenced the song? And what was the title of the song, if you know it?
Pushing P.
And do you know whether that song came out with a video?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to show you part of the video, just make sure that's the same video you remember, okay?
Yeah.
Your Honor, can I ask Mr. Kokomo to approach it to a video so it's not a still?
You may, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's see if we get the same as on
Mr. Stevens, can Mr. Kokomo
Monday.
come to you?
with the Young Thug songs played in court and streams go down.
You recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. And when Mr. Kokomo comes back, Your Honor, I'd like to display to the jurors what Mr. Stevens has just identified, and it will be marked on a thumb drive as Mr. Williams number 22.
Your Honor, so that happens, I would like to, sir, whatever
You
it
didn't
was
say-
that was shown.
Do you mind, Mr. Kokomo?
Okay.
Number,
22.
yes, sir.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
There is commentary on number 22. In fact, that was the video that was just shown to the state.
Commissary hearsay, or what is it?
Yes, it would be testimony being presented through counsel for Mr. Williams. I can have him to show the court what.
Yeah, let me see it.
Your Honor? Yeah. It's being removed. It was just to show which exhibit we're talking about. It'll be removed.
As long as the commentary is removed, we don't have any objection. We would ask that the whole video, the entire video, of what he is about to show, to be shown.
Do you have is there a redacted copy of that?
What he has on there is redacted copy.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
We would ask that the whole video be shown.
The whole thing? Yeah, we have the whole video, Your Honor. I'm just showing the pertinent part, but if the state wants to show the whole video, that's fine.
They're objecting based on rule of completeness, so
No problem.
done. We'll just play all of it after you
Instant.
oriented your
Okay, they will
portion.
play the
So,
entire.
Mr. Kokomo, if you just play the first portion that council wants you to play, and then you can play the entirety of it, okay?
Yeah, let's see
Is that a yes? Okay, all right.
if I get struck on this one.
Yes, Mr. Stevens.
Assistant District Attorney Love is yet again wearing a red jacket. Doesn't that mean, isn't that a sign of being a part of the blood gang, Miss Love?
Are you all okay? You have enough clothing, or you want me to? I make a phone call. I know a guy.
It's cold.
Okay, all right. Let me make a phone call. Okay. All right.
Come on.
It's a little cold in here. So. Just a little bit, okay? All right, thanks. Bye-bye. All right, done. Okay, all right.
You ready? Now, Mr. Kokomo's adjusting. May I just ask you a couple of questions with the court's permission? May I approach?
Yes, you may, sir.
I'm showing what I've marked as Mr. Williams number 8.
Your Honor, that's that those exhibits need to be published before they are tendered.
Number 9, okay, 10, and number 13. Can you just take a peek at them yourself? Tell me if you recognize them one at a time.
And remember, while you're in here, and you have been here for more than a minute, that means you either like me enough or are just
Yes, I
here
recognize.
to
You
be
recognize all
Either
those
way-
numbers, 8, 9, 10, 11? I think that's what
one
I
of
gave
the
you.
thumbs. So you interact with my channel. And,
No, you gave
and
me 8, 9, 10, and 13.
Okay, thank
And
you,
then
sir.
I
And
go through YouTube's algorithm.
do those
and-
photographs accurately depict a person that you know in that photograph?
Yes.
Your Honor, I will move for the admission of 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 once Mr.
I
Kokomo.
don't have it later.
It's 8,
What'd I say?
9, and 13 is what you've shown him.
8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10, and 13, yo.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Your Honor, the state objects.
We'll start out with number 8. You have objection to 8?
Yes, Your Honor, if I can make the whole.
Okay.
Why are you objecting to Steele's video? Thank you, Dave.
Your Honor, as it relates to defendant's exhibit number 8, I would ask to,
What's the basis for your objection?
no basis, no foundation. There was no question how to be recognized. I would like to show this to the court so that the court can fully understand.
All right, come on up.
Sidebar counter 51. Oh, this trial are breaks, lunch, pauses, late judge, and sidebars. And for roughly 12.5% of the time, it's actual testimony and evidence.
Mr. Steele, I'm going to sustain, consistent with bench conversation, I'm going to sustain the objections. You can lay a little more foundation, okay?
Yes, sir. All right. Ready? Your Honor, can we play what has been marked and admitted as Mr. Williams number
22?
22?
Yes, sir. You may.
And we can play the whole thing, but I was focused on, we'll play the whole thing, Mr. Kocham, with the court's permission.
Yes, sir.
All right, we are going to hear a Young Thug song.
Mr. Stevens, if this is not the video to the music, Pushing P, that you described, just let us know, okay? And then we're going to go back and look at specifics, times. You have sound playing?
You have to share the second.
Yeah, court assistant, please have sound.
You know, I mean, assist. We're not here.
You can if you'd be so kind enough to do so, Ms. Love.
Oh God!
Come on up,
It's
Mr.
going to
Kocham,
be a
with the
horrible
computer.
echo.
And it gives you some technical help assistance.
Okay. And a poll is just up. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I'm going to skip through that. Oh. So we can start listening to court, because I'm quite sure they will tell us. Oh.
A person, an artist named Sergio Kitchens, or a performer named Gunna.
Yes,
Is that the same person? Is Sergio Kitchens perform
Yes.
under the name Gunna?
yes,
And do you see that gentleman, if you recognize that gentleman in this Mr. Williams number 22?
yes.
Okay. Kokomo, can you take us to and just remind us of the exact time you're showing, so the Honorable Court is aware and the party?
Oh.
And the jury?
Bought a pink Caterpillar Porsche. Pink Caterpillar Porsche.
Mr. Stevens, do you recognize the person that Mr. Kokomo stopped the number 14954? Do you recognize who that is?
I know, yeah.
Who is it?
Jeff Williams.
Okay. And what Mr. Williams is doing with his hand, is that similar to what it's in the indictment count 1 overt act number 156 that we've shown you before?
Yes,
Okay. And that is a P, you said earlier, right?
yes.
And did you realize, or do you know, that the song Pushing P and the video were released shortly around January 16, 2022?
I didn't realize that, but
Objection, Your Honor, as to his knowledge and speculation.
I sustain objection.
If I showed you something to refresh your memory, would that, do you know when it first came out? Are you familiar? When that video and song first came out and was released?
I know exactly when it came out, but just not the exact date though. I remember the timing. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, can you describe the time?
Not there's no date, but
Do you know whether it was around the date that's listed in the indictment that's in front of you? And if you don't know, just say, I don't know. It's fine. We'll do it.
I don't know.
That's fine. Okay. But that's certainly not a blood sign in the indictment. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, with regards to when Mr. Williams, when you knew him, when he was starting out to try to become an accomplished musical artist, accomplished means like a,
Objection as to compound.
I sustain the question.
when, let me ask you a different way. When you knew Mr. Williams, when he first started out trying to become a professional musical artist, okay? I want you to lock in on that time, okay? Is that okay? Did social media and followers have any, if you know, have any type of significance to Mr. Williams to get out
Objection
his?
as to speculation, and it would call for self-serving hearsay.
I sustain the objection. You
None.
can rephrase Mr. Steele or lay a little more foundation.
I don't want you to say anything Mr. Williams said. Do you know whether Mr. Williams used social media to try to broadcast his music?
Objection again as to speculation.
Well, let's see if he knows, and then I'll rule on the objection, okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And
I'm gonna rule the objection.
And with regards to social media, was it more than music? If you noticed, did Mr. Williams also put out videos of himself?
Yes.
And did he also communicate to people to try to get their attention and to have followers?
Objection as to the mindset.
I sustain the question.
Did Mr. Williams, don't tell me anything about mindset, did he put out also statements on social media to try to get fans?
Objection as to the
I
trust.
sustain the question.
Did he put out statements on social media?
Yes.
And did he do all that under the moniker or Brandon Young Thug?
Yes.
And if you know, is Mr. Williams trying to portray a certain type of image on social media?
Objection as to mindset.
I sustain the question.
Do you know if Mr. Williams portrayed a certain image as to himself on social media?
Objection.
I sustain the question.
Did Mr. Williams put forth a gangster rap image on social media?
Yes.
And do you know whether Mr. Williams had a lot of followers when he did that? Followers on Instagram.
Objection calls for speculation.
I sustain the
If he
question.
knows. You ever see Mr. Williams' social media accounts?
Yes.
Okay. And do those social media accounts show how many people are following?
Yes.
And did Mr. Williams, from this conduct, from this entertainment, did it have a lot of people following him?
Objection as to compound and
I sustain the question as to form.
Did he have a lot of followers?
Yes.
And were the followers building over time?
Yes.
And did you notice that it was increasing a large amount? Did you notice?
Yes.
And did it eventually get to a point that Mr. Williams had millions of followers?
Yes.
Know how many millions at any given time?
I know millions though.
Couldn't hear you.
I don't know the exact millions, but I know it's millions.
Now, was there a time that you were mad at Mr. Williams for the content of his songs?
Attorney Steele is showing to the jury that Mr. Williams, Young Thug, had his music career. And he toured all the time, and he offered a job to YSL Slug to get him out from criminality. And the prosecution alleges that Mr. Williams are doing gang signs that is affiliated to the Bloods. But as just testified to by Slug, that hand sign that is in the Overt Act 156 is the sign for pushing P, as in the song he released that is supposed to be pushing positivity. So is probably laying foundations for later testimonies as well in this. So that's the relevance.
The content of the songs.
The lyrics that he used.
Yeah.
Tell ladies and gentlemen why.
Because I knew that he was teasing me.
Tell them what you mean by that.
He made a song and he referred to me as robbing women. At that time, the whole neighborhood was poking fun at me for being accused of robbing women because they knew that.
Objection as to what the neighborhood.
I stand the question.
They knew what I was known for, which was
I sustain that. You can't answer the question.
Don't, Mr. Stevens, don't say what other people were thinking. Just say what you were thinking. Why were you mad at Mr. Williams?
But even putting that in the song, knowing that it was false.
And did Mr. Williams, were you also mad at him because you believed in other lyrics he was describing things that you did, but taking credit for it?
Yeah.
And why did that bother you?
Your Honor, I object as to generalization.
I stand the question as the form, Mr. Steele. You can rephrase it.
Mr. Stevens, why did it bother you? Why were you mad at Mr. Williams for using lyrics about your life as if he did?
An objection as to what lyrics, to specificity.
I stand as the form.
It could be any. Did you ever get mad at Mr. Williams because he was taking credit for things that you know you did in his lyrics?
I felt the way.
I caught it.
I felt a certain type of way. I had a feeling about it.
Your Honor, I object as to my response if you don't know.
I stand. Just rephrase or redirect him or refocus him, I should say, Mr. Steele.
Instead of saying you felt a certain type of way, can you be more specific with that, Mr. Stevens? Why you were mad at Mr. Williams?
Well, I said I felt a certain type of way. I really can't put, say probably jealousy. I felt, probably jealousy because, I knew it was something I could have been rapping about and potentially making money of it.
Now, if you know, is it a competitive business to be, to try to get fans on social media and followers in rap songs, if you know?
No, I'm not in the business.
I couldn't hear. You're not in the business?
I don't know. Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Do you remember Jeffrey wearing really tight pants before they were popular?
Yes.
And based upon Jeffrey's popularity growing and this fashion that he wore, did other people start wearing really tight pants?
Objection, compound speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Did people follow Jeffrey's lead, if you know, to wear tight pants?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Did people wear tight pants after Jeffrey?
Objection, general, overbroad, irrelevant.
I sustain the question.
Did you notice that after Jeffrey started wearing tight pants, other people in your neighborhood wore tight pants?
Yes, it became a trend.
I couldn't hear you.
Yes, it became a trend.
Trend?
Yeah.
How about tight necklace around the neck? Did Jeffrey start that as well?
So our neighborhood, or like,
Anyway, did you notice that he started to wear tight necklaces?
I noticed his stuff started getting tight. Just
Did you notice that other people again followed that trend?
Objection, speculation.
I sustain the question.
He asked if you noticed.
Whether other
This is
people.
not
Whether other people, that's speculation.
Did you notice other people wearing tight necklaces after Jeffrey started them?
I noticed other people's things starting to get tight too.
It would be fair to say that Jeffrey was being watched and he became a trendsetter, to use your word.
Objection, compound, and speculation.
I stand the question.
Do you know whether people followed what Jeffrey was wearing, singing about?
Objection, speculation.
Stand.
Did people start dressing like Jeffrey?
Objection, speculation.
That's,
You might want to just ask a question before that, so.
do you know whether after Jeffrey started to wear certain fashion, other people started to dress like that? Do you know this?
I don't know exactly why they did it, but I started seeing similarities in what he was doing and what other people were doing.
And is when you first met Jeffrey in approximately 2007, that year's, like you said before, what was he called? What was his? What was the typical name that you called him and people called him?
Little Jeff.
And do you know what his father's name is?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury.
Big Jeff.
Now, we talked about Jeffrey wearing tight jeans. Do you know, don't speculate, do you know whether Jeffrey got any criticism? That means, did people go against him for wearing tight jeans, if you know?
Yes.
And tell us about that. What did people do? If you're aware of it.
I'm aware that they was accusing him of being gay.
A homosexual.
Yes.
And did that help, if you know, Jeffrey's popularity?
Objection, speculation.
If you
I
know.
sustain the question. Well, let me see if he can answer the predicate. So you can ask him that again.
You can answer.
Oh, my bad. You can say it again. All the objections. So,
No, it's my fault. It's not your fault. You ready? There's nothing to do. You ready? The question is, if you know, did being called gay affect Jeffrey's popularity on social media?
Your Honor, I object to that because.
That's a different question. I'm gonna sustain that though.
Did being called gay affect Jeffrey's popularity at all?
Objection, Your Honor, as to,
I sustain it.
If you know.
Your Honor, he can't fix it with advocating.
Yeah, I'm gonna sustain the question.
Okay. Now, did you know that Jeffrey, besides music, branched out into fashion as a business?
yes.
And do you know Spider? You know this Spider brand?
Yes.
What is Spider brand?
A brand, a clothing brand.
And whose clothing brand is that?
Jeff Williams.
I'm going to show you what has been previously marked and shown to you. Mr. Williams, number 9, then we're going to number 10. You already took a peek at that. Remember looking at that, Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
On Mr. Williams, number 9, do you recognize who's in that picture?
Yes.
And do you recognize the clothing shown in that picture?
Yes.
And do you recognize the color of that clothing?
Yes.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the clothing and the person who's wearing it in that picture, number 9, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll move for the.
What it might do is, sorry. Sebastian Miller says, do you think that the state objecting so much make them look bad in the eyes of the jury? I don't know. Juries generally take everything very seriously. What they might notice is the discrepancy between how often he overrules the defense and sustains the prosecution, because it's a remarkable difference. So that might be one of the things that the jury might notice, but I'm not there. Hopefully people who are there can say something about it, but I don't have anybody inside the courtroom to tell me if the jury reacts or anything, sadly.
Admission number 9.
Any further objection to defendant's 9?
No, Your Honor, not tonight.
Defendant's 9 is admitted and may be published as you see fit, sir.
It should be on the screen, but it's right in front of you, Mr. Stevens. Who is that gentleman in Mr. Williams number 9?
Jeffrey Williams.
And is he wearing a, what I call a hooded sweatshirt?
Yes.
And can you see the type or brand on that sweatshirt?
Yes.
What brand or type is that?
Spider brand.
And who owns Spider Brand, to your knowledge?
Jeffrey Williams.
Okay. And what color is that hooded Spider Brand sweatshirt?
Blue with white words. And
that goes against the prosecution's, oh, you were always wearing something red. Well, does he? Well, he has something red on his shoe there. Maybe they will latch on to that. Latch. Ha 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 ha.
And do you notice a jacket on top of the hooded sweatshirt?
yes.
And what color is that jacket?
Blue.
Do you notice pants being worn by Mr. Williams in number 9?
Yes.
And what brand is that?
Spider clothing brand.
Same owner of that brand?
Yes.
And what color?
Blue with white words.
And then the shoes. You see shoes?
Yes.
And do you know what type of shoes they are? And if you don't, that's fine. Yes or no?
No, I don't.
Okay. And the laces appear to be what color on the right foot?
Red.
And how about the left foot?
Blue.
I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams number 10 that should be in front of you. I think I gave that to you. It might be underneath number 9.
Oh, no, that's the tongue.
One more
The
time.
lace is blue on both on it. That look like that's the tongue.
Okay. It's the tongue is red.
Oh, yeah, I answer to the best of my ability.
That's fine. That's fine. Do you see Mr. Williams number 10? It's maybe under number 9.
Yes.
You never seen that before?
Yes.
And there are 2 gentlemen in that picture. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recognize both of those gentlemen?
Yes.
And is that picture depicted in number 10 of Mr. Williams fair and accurate depiction of both of those people?
Yes.
He's throwing shade at the prosecution because they went through the chat messages between Young Thug, Slug, and other people where the prosecution alleges, see, they are planning crimes. And then when you read everything, no, they're talking about paying rent.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of number 10.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am. You have any further objection to defendant's 10?
I'd ask to be allowed to voir dire as to Tim before the admission.
All right.
Good morning.
Okay, she's going for voir dire, which is proffing the witness. Do you actually know anything about the brand, clothing? Yeah, culparistic. A blood wearing all blue, unlikely. Yeah. Yeah, the only one today wearing red is her. I don't think she understands. If she keeps talking about bloods and red color and keeps wearing red stuff, it goes from a joke to irony.
Mr. Stevens,
Morning.
were you present when that picture was taken, defense exhibit number 10?
No.
Do you recognize the area that that picture was taken in?
No.
Can you say with certainty whether that picture accurately describes or accurately reflects whatever was present in that area at the time that the picture was taken.
Can I say that? No.
Your Honor, state objects to number 10.
Foundation?
He has no basis.
Foundation?
Yes.
All right. Steele, anything else?
That would go to weight, Your Honor, not the admissibility.
I'm gonna sustain the state's objection.
Of course you are. I mean, the question in this voir dire, I mean, more or less, do you recognize this picture? Yes or no?
At this time.
Okay. All right. Did I give you number 11, if you could look at that? And it might be 13.
I only have 9 and 10.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may, sir.
Okay.
Let me show you this. You recognize what I've shown you before as Mr. Williams' number 13.
Yes.
And do you you recognize any of the people shown in Mr. Williams 13?
Yes.
Do you recognize both those people?
Yes.
And does the photograph accurately show the way those two people look?
Yes.
And were you present when that image was taken?
No.
Have you seen that image before?
Yes.
Okay. And is that what now is Mr. Williams 13 accurate the way you've seen it before?
Yes.
And where have you seen it before?
Social media.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 13.
Any objection to defendant's 13? Defendant Williams 13, I should say.
I'd ask to voir dire the witness.
All right. Can I see 13, please? You got 13 in front of you on there?
I understand why she wants to voir dire. Oh, you weren't present, so how can you tell? Well, he only needs to testify he's seen the picture before. Now this is getting ridiculous.
Okay, here you go. All right, go ahead, Ms. Lowe.
Mr. Stevens, as to defendants 13, Mr. Steele asked you where or whether you've seen that photograph before, and you said on social media.
Yes.
Did you place that photo on social media?
No.
Do you know anything about the time that that photograph was taken?
No.
Do you know anything about the surroundings in that photograph?
No.
Do you know anything about whether that photograph accurately reflects what was in the camera range at the time the photograph was taken? In other words, do you know whether or not that photograph accurately reflects the surroundings that those people are in at the time the photograph was taken?
No.
Is the only basis for your saying you recognize that photograph that you've seen it on social media?
Yes.
And is your knowledge of the photographs that you saw on social media any greater than your knowledge of the photograph as it sits before you today?
I'm saying on social media.
Your Honor, based on that, as through this witness, I would object to that photograph.
I'll overrule the objection, madam.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna admit it. E13 maybe.
He overruled. How about that? I almost need to have a counter for overruled prosecution's objections. Yeah, I don't see any consistency with the judge's ruling, but hey. I have no idea.
Publish as you see fit.
On the screen is Mr. Williams' number 13. Can you make that bigger without making it unreadable? Mr. Kokomo?
Okay. That's Shaquille Kokomo, legal assistant. Is down there.
Mr. Stevens, can you see the screen and and it's in front of you as well? And describe to the jurors and tell them by what people are wearing, who is seen in that photograph, please.
Jeffrey Williams got on blue shirt, blue pants, and this Nut, he got on a white shirt with plaid shorts.
And you use the name Nut. N-U-T, does that sound right?
Yes.
And do you, by any chance, if you don't, that's fine, know what Nut's government given name is?
Yes.
Can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, jury?
Donovan Thomas.
And by looking at, if you know, Mr. Williams, number 13, who posted this photograph of Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas, Donovan Thomas, on social media?
Do I know who posted it?
Yeah. Do you know whose Instagram account it was?
Yes. Nut.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen, jury, who Instagram account posted it.
Nut.
And for some people who may not know, can you explain what it means by posting on your social media account? What does that mean?
Uploading an image from your phone to the internet.
Okay. And at the top, you see where it says big business underscore ENT underscore nut?
Yes.
Do you recognize that as somebody's social media handle?
Yes.
Whose social media handle is that?
Nut.
And then, Mr. Kokomo, if you don't mind just scrolling to the bottom. If you know, you see where it says in the first line, 444 likes, you see that?
Yes.
If you don't know, just say, I'm not sure. What does it mean with the number 444 and the word likes next on social media?
That 444 people liked the picture.
And then underneath that, again, it says big business underscore ENT underscore nut. And then it's written, me and little bro. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
In the indictment, this person, hold on. Come on. Stop.
And then it's
Let me go back. Big Business Nut is apparently deceased. So the defense is bringing in this photo to show the jury they were friendly before Nut went suddenly deceased. Good work. And you got it admitted. Good work. Oh, come on. Stop buffering.
whether Mr. Thomas and Mr. Jeffrey Williams were friends.
Your Honor, I'd ask for clarity, vague.
I stand the question. You can rephrase it, sir.
Time frame.
To your knowledge, was Mr. Thomas, Donovan Thomas, and Mr. Williams friends?
Time frame, Your Honor, vague.
I stand the question. Just rephrase it.
Before the death of, well, where were you? If you remember, I know dates are not good. Do you remember where you were the end of 2014, beginning of 2000, let's say January 2015, if you know?
In 2014.
If you don't know, it's fine.
Yeah.
If he died in the end of 2014 and this picture is from May of 2014,
Jail.
that really
You're in
don't show
custody,
much.
Yes.
in jail?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that for the end of 2014 going to beginning of 2015?
Yes.
But you're clearly out in some point of early 2015 because you told the jury about being sent home from the rodeo tour. You remember that?
Yes,
And you were clearly out on your birthday in 2015, April 26th. Is
yes,
that true? Okay. All right. At the time that you were in custody, put in custody, in 2014, do you remember when that was? And if you don't, that's fine.
at the time when I was in custody.
Yeah, were you in custody the end of 2014 going into the beginning of 2015? If you know, and if you don't know, that's fine.
Yeah,
Do you remember approximately when you were arrested and put in custody in 2014?
yes.
Approximately when was it?
I think that's the date we've been just going over. October 14th, October 2014. I don't know the exact date.
That's fine. And that was shown days ago
Yeah,
with that allegation,
Right.
when you were arrested.
that's how I remember. Yeah.
Okay. So let's use that as a date. At that time, October 2014.
Come on. Oh. Ad blocker is paused.
2014. Do you know whether Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas were friends?
Objection, Your Honor, is to
Going down to
vagueness, same objection.
Let's see if he knows. I'll consider the objection based on the next response.
If you know,
Yes,
were they friends?
yes.
I'll hold the objection.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this May 26, 2014, who is referring to who? So you tell us the speakers as Little Bruh. Who is Little Bruh as you read that on social media?
Jeff,
Okay, and who is calling Jeffrey Little Bruh?
Nut.
All right. I want to talk with you. Thank you, sir. I want to talk with you about April 26, 2015, your birthday, okay? Prosecutor was asking you these questions on that day, and you remember going into the compound to see an entertainer that you really liked. Remember you talked about paying $500, et cetera?
Yes,
Okay, that's the day I'm talking about. Are you aware at some point that the tour bus of Lil Wayne was supposedly shot?
yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury what information you have at all that Jeffrey Williams was in any way involved with the shooting of that tour bus.
Any at all?
Your Honor,
You have an objection, madam?
I do not.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Can you answer the question, sir?
I don't have any information at all.
Okay. Now, you've been to concerts, musical concerts, fair to say?
Yes,
Have you ever been to a sporting event, Hawks game, something like that?
I've been to a sporting event. Yes,
And at the sporting event that you went to, were they selling, you call it merchandise? Were people selling merchandise, if you remember?
I know that they sell merchandise there.
Okay. When you were shown earlier a red hat and it said Bompton, Bompton, you remember seeing that video or the photograph rather?
Yes,
Was that being sold at a show?
yes,
And do people make money off of that?
yes.
And do you know whether any YSL merchandise or merch is sold at shows?
Yes, yeah.
And do you know whether people can buy YSL merchandise over the internet?
Yes,
And do you know whether people can buy Spider merchandise over the internet?
yes,
And is all this a business?
yes.
Do you know, if you know, does Jeffrey Williams have a record label, YSL?
Yes,
And does he promote his records, albums, music, mixtapes, whatever it is, through YSL?
yes.
If you know, if you don't know this, I don't know. Has that record label also been bought by a publicly traded company?
Objection, basis.
If he knows.
I'll rule the objection, madam.
I don't know somebody about it.
You don't know, you
No.
know. That's fine. All right. Okay. Are you aware
today's
that
footage.
Jeffrey also
are-
performs with
we are-
people, with other people in music?
Yes.
We are
And,
30 minutes behind.
Do you know some of the artists that Jeffrey has performed with? And if yes, tell the jury.
Yes.
Objection as to relevance.
Mr. Steele? Goes to what Jeffrey Williams does, Your Honor, for his living, not a member of
I
a.
sustain it. I should say, I'm going to overrule the objection. He can testify that if he knows.
Post Malone.
Okay. And what type of music is Post Malone known for?
Rock and roll. Different. I don't know what kind of artist he is. I said that because that one like
That's fine.
ones I like.
Do you know whether Mr. Williams has ever done work with, an artist named Rihanna?
Yes.
Okay. Elton John?
Yes.
Name dropping.
Has Mr. Williams, to your knowledge, does he have a song out with Elton John?
Yes.
Is it a popular song? If you know.
Yes.
You know the name of that song?
Yes.
What is it?
Hi.
Okay. Do you know whether Mr. Williams has done work with an artist, if you know the artist, Ed Sheeran?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the line of questioning regarding how many or who all Mr. Williams has done work with. If it was to establish that he is a rapper, no one disputes that.
I'm going to overrule the objection.
Oh, what? My bad.
That's okay. Do you know whether Mr. Williams has done music with an artist, a musical artist named Ed Sheeran?
Yes.
How about, do you know an artist named Drake?
Yes.
Do you know if Mr. Williams has done music with Drake?
Yes.
How about, except not just rap music, do you know whether Mr. Williams also does popular music?
Yes.
How about African beats?
Oh, yeah. Country.
Country. And did Mr. Williams, to your knowledge, have a gigantic country hit?
Yes.
How about Latin music?
I know it's several different genres.
Okay. Do you know whether Mr. Williams has performed in almost every continent in the world?
Yeah.
Do you know whether he's performed in front of over 300,000 people as the headliner?
Objection, Your
I
Honor.
sustain the question.
When Jeffrey Williams, you were asked a series of questions. On direct examination, that means when the prosecutor was asking questions about whether the conduct of YSL and its associates and members enhanced the notoriety, the respect, the reputation. Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury how crime on Cleveland Avenue committed by YSL or its members helped Jeffrey Williams, when you answer those questions, get respect, reputation, image, notoriety, street credibility. Tell them.
Objection as to relevance and objection as to the court. Will
I
give the
sustain the
law.
question.
Your Honor, this goes directly to questions asked on direct examination.
Doesn't make them still objectionable, though. So I'm going to sustain the objection at this point in time.
Tell the jury, from being a member of YSL, that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Tell the jury how Jeffrey Williams benefits from YSL the Queen Street.
I ain't got no benefit.
I-
I don't feel like he benefit. He don't benefit.
Okay. Now, earlier you went through in the indictment with me, you were kind enough, when it was, y'all just stopped bringing me the money, remember 24Ms on an N, remember that? And I know what you testified to, the jurors will remember. But why, explain to jurors, why would Jeffrey Williams need money from you or anybody else living on Cleveland Avenue? I'm not trying to insult anybody, just answer that question if you don't mind.
Objection as to
I
speculation.
sustain the question.
Do you ever give Jeffrey Williams any money?
No.
Money is a hard commodity to get for you, isn't it?
Yes.
And for many people on Cleveland Avenue, is that fair to say?
Objection
I
speculation.
sustain the question.
Wait, my turn. Oh,
That's
my bad.
And there's no question.
Oh, my bad.
Goes to you, sir.
Now, when you talked about being upset with Quentin Porter, who, remember, and you wanted to separate from Rockford, you remember that?
Yeah.
You want to separate from him, Mr. Quentin Porter, right?
Yeah.
And Jeffrey took on the YSL as his record label to sing about. Is that true?
Yeah.
As Jeffrey's popularity grew, did a lot of people in the neighborhood start singing and saying we're YSL?
Yes.
Was there any rule to get into YSL?
No.
Could Jeffrey, to your knowledge, stop somebody from saying I'm YSL?
No.
Could Jeffrey?
That's kind of important because the prosecution spent some time talking about how hard it is to get into a criminal gang. And now Slug or Tick or whatever he calls himself, Mr. Stevens, is saying there were no requirement to call yourself YSL. How about that?
Stop someone from putting a tattoo on their face, their arm, their...
Objection as to speculation and compound.
I sustain the question.
Do you know whether Jeffrey could stop someone from putting a tattoo on their body?
Objection as to speculation.
Still speculation, Mr. Steele. I sustain the objection.
Could he stop you from putting a tattoo on your body?
No.
And you said earlier that people were copying, this is my word, Jeffrey, I think your word was, he was trending or something like that. You remember that?
Yes.
And he was clearly now singing about YSL, right?
Yeah.
He was clearly wearing certain clothing a certain way, right?
Yes.
And he was clearly being followed by others, true?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, as to speculation.
I sustain the last question of speculation.
Do you know from social media, people outside of Cleveland Avenue starting to dress like Jeffrey? If you know from social media.
Objection as to why they would be dressing.
Let me-
Speculation.
Let's see if he knows he has any basis. Can you answer that question?
Can you say it again?
Yeah.
My bad. When y'all do that, I lose my train of thought. My bad.
That is not your bad. That is Mr. Stevens, on social media, did you recognize people dressing like Jeffrey as his popularity grew?
Yes.
And that's outside of Cleveland Avenue, right?
Yes.
And do you know from social media, people outside of Cleveland Avenue, outside of our country, tattooing YSL on their bodies?
Yes.
And putting Jeffrey's face tattooed on their calves,
Yes.
on their stomachs?
Yes. I met a girl, she had it on her arm.
I couldn't hear you.
I said I met a girl, she had it on her arm.
She had Jeffrey's image of his face on her arm,
Yeah.
and also had Jeffrey's lyrics on their bodies.
I don't think I seen no lyric, but it's possible. So.
No, that's fine. And also have YSL tattooed on their bodies from the internet.
Yes.
Jeffrey became wildly popular, right?
Yes.
And from your area that you grew up in and that he was there a short period of time,
Yeah.
who else from that area is that popular?
Nobody.
Would you describe the fact that Jeffrey's efforts and talent,
Excuse me.
that's all right, created a brand? Do you know what I mean by brand? Something marketable that people liked.
Objection, speculation.
I sustain the objection.
But did you like it? I know you're jealous, you said of Jeffrey at times, but were you proud of him?
Yes.
He did something. Were you shocked at what he did? From where he came from?
Objection,
Amazed.
compound.
I sustain the question as form. Rephrase, Mr. Steele.
Okay. How would you describe?
I know, fun size. I will, once the court goes on lunch break, we will go through those papers.
Describe, in your own words, how you feel about the fact where Jeffrey, you know where he came from to where he grew. You ever think that was possible?
I feel like anything possible, but yeah, it was amazing to me.
To your knowledge, do you know whether people say that they know Jeffrey who really don't know him?
Objection, speculation.
I stand the question.
Have you ever been in a situation where you knew that someone did not know Jeffrey, but they claimed to be able to contact him?
Objection, foundation.
I stand the question.
Sometimes I see that Mr. Steele is doing this on purpose. He goes overly broad just to get it out there, the question. Because even sustained questions are spoken or in court. The jury hears it, and then he starts to narrow it down. But he already got all the information out.
Now, Jeffrey, you said, gave opportunities to you and others. Fair to say?
Yes.
And although he wouldn't give anyone money, would Jeffrey be free to open his house to others?
Yes.
And if they need a place to stay, could they come to his home?
Yeah, if you knew you, yeah.
If he knew you.
Yeah.
And how about vehicles? If somebody needed a vehicle, to your knowledge, would Jeffrey let people drive cars that he had?
Yes.
Tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, if you know about how people can get cars if they know Jeffrey in his home.
Can I speak from my experience?
Yes.
The drawer in his house with all the keys, and he just, I don't even ask. I just grab them.
And what type of cars are we talking about? I know they change over time. Just give an example.
This is really interesting. Oh, I forgot to put that down. In the indictment, it is alleged that because people were using his cars and one or more of them were involved in crimes, that makes Mr. Williams co-conspirator or something of that sort. Slug, Tick, Mr. Stevens just said he didn't even ask. He just grabbed a key and took a car.
Type of cars we're talking
Can I
about.
speak from my experience?
Sure.
I've driven Rolls Royce truck, Bentley truck, Jeep truck. Yeah, I've driven a lot of them.
And from your experience and knowledge, would Jeffrey rent cars for other people if they needed a car
Yeah,
in his own name?
yeah,
And did other people, including yourself, at times, were you able to rent a car? Did you have a credit card?
no,
But Jeffrey would do that for you and others?
yes.
And would he ask any questions about where you would take in the Bentley Jeep, or was it just, here you go?
Sometimes I didn't even know I was gone.
Same with rental cars?
Yeah,
Now, to get to the rodeo tour, I know you were sent home. Is it fair to say you were sent home by plane?
yes.
To get out to the rodeo tour, were you taking a tour bus? When I say you, did Jeffries have a tour bus? And if you don't remember, so.
No, I don't remember how I got there. No, I ain't take tour bus.
How about from city to city?
Yeah, that was super, yeah.
And if you were aware, was Jeffrey sleeping on the walkway of the tour bus to let other people sleep in the beds?
Yeah, everybody just fall asleep anyway. Wherever you
Couldn't
can.
hear you, I apologize.
You just fall asleep wherever you got space to fall asleep.
And did Jeffrey make it known that he wanted to show people there is life outside of Cleveland Avenue?
Objection, Your Honor.
I sustain the question.
Was this the first time that you really ever, except for jails and custody, I'm excluding that. Was this really the first time, because of Jeffrey Williams, that you and others ever left the area that you grew up in, born in?
Objection as to others.
I sustain the question.
If you know,
As a form.
just talk about yourself.
I wouldn't have, I ain't leave out of 285 for him.
And how about private planes, airplanes? Do you know whether Jeffrey would take private planes to travel?
Yes,
And would he allow other people to see what it's like to fly?
yes,
And these are all new experiences.
yes.
And would you ever experience the fact that there's life outside of Cleveland Avenue?
Objection.
It's kind of vague. I'll sustain the question as the form, Mr. Steele. Before you pose the next question, ladies and gentlemen, how about a comfort break? All right, Mr. Steele, and ladies and gentlemen, jury, we're gonna take 10 minutes and then we'll come back and I'll kind of give you the plan for the afternoon, okay? All right, 10 minutes, remember my admonitions to you.
10 minutes? It's 12:30. What do you mean 10 minutes? Let's see. Let's press live. Nope. I need to visit the big boy's room. So I will see you in 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Sorry for that. All right. I assume he found out that they are actually going on lunch. So let's talk about Fanny Willis. Did you know in the UK, a willy, I think you have that in the United States, is slang for male organ. Did you also know that Fanny in the UK and Europe is slang for the female reproductive organ? You do what you want with that information. But yeah, let's go over what's going on with Fanny Willis. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see if we can find some local news. This looks good. Oh, didn't I? There. Share that. Okay. Allegations against prosecutors bolster. Oh, yeah, this. Fanny Willis, the district attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, which is the prosecutor in our case. She's the lead prosecutor, the district attorney. That Ms. Love, the ADA, is conducting most of the work in trial. does not take away that this is actually Miss Willis' trial. And here is some history. It seemed an unusual choice when Fanny Willis, the district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, turned to a suburban defense lawyer to oversee what seemed to be the biggest task of her career, building a case against former President Trump. Nathan Wade, whom Miss Willis tapped for the job, has little experience as a prosecutor, but he was a trusted friend and mentor, she said in 2022, willing to take the job when more seasoned prosecutors were not. Now the relationship between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade has taken center stage in the Georgia case against former president, who is awaiting trial along with 14 co-defendants. On Monday, a lawyer for one of the co-defendants, Michael A. Roman, charged in a court filing that Miss Willis and Mr. Wade were romantic partners who were profiting significantly from this prosecution at the expense of the taxpayers. And without offering any proof, the filing accused the two of taking vacations together with money Mr. Wade had made while working for Miss Willis' office as a special prosecutor. In all, the office has paid Mr. Wade $653,000, according to county records. Here's the thing. This is an initial filing. They don't need to put actual proof. Now it's up to a judge to handle that filing. How much of it is... Can this lead to discovery, for example? Can that court filing lead to more stuff? And here is the actual court filing. I'm going back and forth to see if they are back in court, and they are not. They should be on. Either way, we will catch up because they have breaks all the time. But yeah, I'm checking. Let me just tweet out this. Currently. $1 million Fanny. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's see if I can make this a bit bigger. Yeah, that seems good. Well, the defendant Michael Roman's motion to dismiss grand jury indictments as fatally defective and motion to disqualify the district attorney, her office, and the special prosecutor from further prosecuting this matter. That's... Yeah, he is not pulling any punches. If anything will happen, big if not before election day. Yeah, I mean, it took them 11 months to summon a jury for this RICO trial. Imagine the time it will take to summon a jury for a RICO trial against former President Trump. Now, this has nothing to do with... Well, it has something to do with politics. Hold on while I will make myself a bit smaller. Or this? No. This. And up with that again. Yeah. Comes now. Defendant Michael Roman, by and through his undersigned counsel and pursuant to OCGA, the 5th and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, blah, 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 blah. Paragraph 1 of the Georgia Constitution, the inherent supervisory powers of this court, the Georgia Rules of Professional Responsibility, and other law set forth herein, moves this honorable court for an order striking the special purpose grand jury report and dismissing the criminal indictment in its entirety against Mr. Roman on the grounds that the entire prosecution is invalid and unconstitutional because the Fulton County District Attorney never had legal authority to appoint the special prosecutor, who assisted in obtaining both grand jury indictments. As a result, both indictments contain structural errors and irreparable defects and should be dismissed in their entirety as to Mr. Roman. Mr. Roman also moves the court for an order disqualifying the district attorney. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Why are all these positions elected? Now, I can see, I mean, district attorney, here's my merits, here's what I've done, please vote for me. But I've been covering trials where even the chief of the medical examiner's office is elected. For me, that's... Ugh. Let's see here. Disqualifying the district attorney, her office, and the special prosecutor from further prosecuting the instant matter on the grounds that the district attorney and the special prosecutor have been engaged in an improper, clandestine personal relationship during the pendency of this case, which has resulted in the special prosecutor and, in turn, the district attorney profiting significantly from this prosecution at the expense of the taxpayers. Accordingly, the district attorney and the special prosecutor have violated laws regulating the use of public monies. Monies? What? That's weird. Suffered from conflict of interest and violated their oaths of office under the Georgia Rules of Professional Conduct and should be disqualified from prosecuting this matter. In further support of the instant motions, Mr. Roman respectfully shows the courts as follows. Sorry. The instant motion is not filed lightly, nor is it being filed without considerable forethought, research, or investigation. Nonetheless, this motion must be heard, as the issues raised herein strike at the heart of fairness in our justice system and, if left unaddressed and unchecked, threaten to taint the entire prosecution, invite error, and completely undermine public confidence in the eventual outcome of this proceeding. And then, checks of power, unique opportunity for court to review. I mean, this is 147 pages, so I'm going to skim through a bit of it. The important issues raised in the instant motion suggests that the elected district attorney for the largest district attorney's office in the state of Georgia has used the instant prosecution to pay her partner a large sum of money that was originally allotted to clear the backlog of cases in Fulton County following the COVID pandemic. Yeah, there will be counter motions and stuff like that before anything happens. So either way, but I would assume that they would try to put a stay on the prosecution of former President Trump until this matter is solved. But that's up to the court. And this is, they have Fulton County, Georgia has an enormous backlog. And instead of cleaning out some of those cases, they chose not one RICO trial, the young thug, not two RICO trials. There's another rapper whose RICO trial is coming up late, I think now in January. Not even 3 RICO trials. You have this against former President Trump. You have 4 RICO trials in the dockets in Fulton County, Georgia during 2024. And instead of clearing the dockets from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases, District Attorney Fanny Willis is doing 4 RICO trials almost simultaneously. Let's continue. Normally, the district attorney's use of funds allotted pursuant to a county's prior approval would not be newsworthy or legally actionable. But this case is different. The district attorney sought additional funds from Fulton County to clear the COVID backlog, including making a detailed presentation to the Board of Commissioners in 2021, and she ultimately received that funding from Fulton County. But she has not used those funds for that purpose. She apparently has used them to prosecute this case and 3 other RICO cases. Even assuming that were proper and could be forgiven, even within the contours of this prosecution, there is a separate and very important concern about her use of the money. As the layers unfold, it becomes clear that the district attorney and the special prosecutor have been profiting personally from this prosecution at Fulton County's expense. Instead of handling this case within her office, as she could have done given the influx of CVID money, she chose to hire a private special prosecutor to preside over the case. Once again, on its face, this is not earth-shattering and generally well within her discretion, but there are several important facts that distinguish this case from the typical one, and which render the indictment invalid as a matter of law. Under Georgia law, the district attorney was required to obtain Fulton County's approval prior to appointing the special prosecutor to work on the case. The reason for this requirement is simple. It ensures that the district attorney cannot act unilaterally with regard to public monies and is subject to the control and supervision of the governing body, i.e., Fulton County, so that public has confidence in how the money is used. Undersigned counsel has found no evidence that the district attorney sought or received such approval to appoint the special prosecutor from Fulton County. This is not a mere technicality. It is a requirement the Georgia Supreme Court has held must be followed when a special prosecutor is appointed, and therefore a prerequisite for any special prosecutor's work on a case, including the instant case. Since the district attorney was fully capable of asking for authority for additional funding following the world ending, then it's clear she knows how to do that. So that begs the question of why she did not do so with regard to the approval for the special prosecutor in this case. One could assume it was an oversight, but digging deeper, the potential reason becomes obvious. As has been pointed out in prior filings, the special prosecutor's oath of office was never filed. So there are prior filings to this one, but I don't have that. While this might have been an oversight, it may have been purposeful, a specific attempt to shield from public knowledge the fact that the special prosecutor had, in fact, been appointed without legal authority. Perhaps more important and enlightening, however, is the identity and qualifications of the specific person the district attorney chose to put in charge of this prosecution. And here comes the allegation. And I know from news articles, these are pure allegations. We have to remember that. As we know, as we probably can, this is a court filing. Miss Willis is innocent until a court says otherwise. Let's just state that. The district attorney chose to appoint her romantic partner, who at all times relevant to this prosecution has been a married man. Yep. Special prosecutor is married. So this might, if true, can put some screws and wrenches everywhere. Admittedly, this is a bold allegation considering it is directed to one of the most powerful people in the state of Georgia, the Fulton County District Attorney. Nevertheless, the district attorney's fame and power do not change the fact that she decided to appoint as the special prosecutor a person with whom she had a personal relationship and who is now leading the day-to-day prosecution of this case. Even assuming this type of nepotism might be forgiven in the abstract, a review of the amount of money that the special prosecutor has been paid by the district attorney and the personal activities of the district attorney and the special prosecutor during the pendency of this prosecution shed light on just how self-serving this arrangement has been. The court may well be wondering, and for good reason, how do you know this and why does it matter? Question, how do we know this? Open record request to Fulton County revealed that the district attorney did not obtain county approval to appoint the special prosecutor. Why would the district attorney not obtain this approval prior to appointing the special prosecutor? Point 2. The special prosecutor has admitted his oath was not filed prior to his work on this case. Why would the special prosecutor not just file the oath, a simple administrative task for a lawyer? No, this is for the Trump case. So this is one of the co-defendant in the Trump RICO case in Georgia. It's the same district attorney, Fanny Willis, who put this to trial, and then she appointed, according to this filing, her romantic interest as the special prosecutor, and to date has the state of Georgia has given this special prosecutor close to $700,000. I'm checking back on the... They are back in court, but I will go through a bit more here. Yeah. I will go through these points and then we will go back to the trial. Point 1 to 3. The special prosecutor is seeking a divorce in Cobb County and sought successfully to seal those records, hiding them from public view. Why would a private citizen such as the special prosecutor shield filings related to his income and spending from public view? That's interesting. While the filings in the divorce case are sealed by court order, the legality of which is open to question, information obtained outside of court filings indicates that the district attorney and special prosecutor have traveled personally together to such places as Napa Valley, Florida, and the Caribbean, and the special prosecutor has purchased tickets for both of them to travel on both the Norwegian and Royal Caribbean cruise lines. Traveling together to such places as Washington, D.C. or New York City might make sense for work purposes in light of other pending litigation, but what work purpose could only be served by travel to these traditional vacation destinations? The district attorney and the special prosecutor has been seen in private together in and about the Atlanta area, and believed to have cohabited in some form or fashion at a location owned by neither of them. Translation, hotel. Oh, this is juicy. Sources close to both the special prosecutor and the district attorney have confirmed that they had an ongoing personal relationship during the pendency of the special prosecutor's divorce proceedings. Sources, okay, that's not good enough. That might be good enough for a reporter, not in court filings. According to these sources, the personal relationship between the district attorney and the special prosecutor began before this prosecution was initiated and before the district attorney appointed the special prosecutor. Undersigned counsel knows the special prosecutor. Undersigned counsel knows the special prosecutor and has researched his litigation experience. That research reveals that the special prosecutor has never tried a felony RICO case. The state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta has several lawyers who specialize in the prosecuting and defending RICO cases. Despite having access to these resources, why would the district attorney instead appoint someone who has never tried a felony RICO case, particularly in a case with such national significance as this one? The special prosecutor, based on his lack of experience in this type of felony trial, would not be qualified under Fulton County's standards to be appointed to represent any defendant in this case, given the complexity of the charges. If the special prosecutor is not qualified to defend this case under Fulton County standards, then how is he qualified to prosecute the case? Is that why the district attorney did not seek approval for his appointment? If so, why did she seek to appoint an unqualified lawyer without approval to preside over this prosecution? Since being appointed as special prosecutor, the special prosecutor has been paid an estimated almost $1 million in legal fees. $700,000, yeah, but whatever. Of course, additional fees would be expected when private counsel is hired, but that would assume they are not in a relationship with the district attorney and they were qualified to do the work they were hired to do. The special prosecutor's fees have been lucrative in comparison by any reasonable measure. The district attorney's yearly salary, including state and county supplements, is roughly $200,000. And the total annual budget for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for fiscal year 2022 was $31.5 million. The district attorney lobbied for additional money from Fulton County to hire lawyers and staff to clear the backlog after CVID. Why didn't she use that money to hire qualified in-house staff to try this case? Why did she instead use that money to retain the special prosecutor? Yeah, I mean, this will get spicy. This will get really, really spicy. Now, could all of this be unfounded? Yeah, of course. But, yeah. RICO cases are not allowed in most state indictments. It's always federal besides all, so then she got granted to do it and fight for within a year. Yeah. Now, you have the federal RICO. Hold on. You have the federal RICO Act. Georgia has its own RICO Act, the Georgia RICO Act, which is broader and more vague than the federal one. Those former President Trump is by federal, but the other three are state, but they will all be held in that court, in the same courthouse. How will they? This has a public paper trail, not hard to see where the smoke is coming from. Yeah, I agree. it will be interesting to follow. But we have a trial to follow. And they are back from... Apparently, they did not take lunch. So they are back. Dun, dun, dun. Let's go. Back to the trial. Back to the cross-examination of Slug or Tick. Mr. Stevens. Oh. Yeah, while we wait for the buffering to stop. In Georgia, in order to have this Georgia RICO Act applied to a case, you need 3 or more to form a criminal enterprise. In the Georgia RICO Act, it also says the agreement can be spoken or unspoken. So with the special prosecutor and the district attorney, you have 2. There need to be more involved for it to be RICO. But yeah. Oh, come on, stop buffering. Stop buffering. There.
Mr. Stevens, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, growing up in the area that you grew up in, how many law enforcement officers came to you?
Different judges. So they are having 4 RICO trials almost simultaneously in the same courthouse. So they are more or less occupying 4 courtrooms. And I think Fulton County, Georgia has 7 or 8 courtrooms. So half is for 4 cases when they were allotted money to get rid of the backlog.
With opportunities for jobs?
No.
How about law enforcement officers who gave you encouragement to lead a better life? Tell the truth.
No.
You mentioned with the honorable prosecutor, King Slime was something that Jeffrey is referred to as. You remember that?
Yes.
Do you know if that is any way tied to some sort of criminality, that name?
No.
Now, Slime, you mentioned earlier Lil Wayne, remember?
Yes.
And I believe you testified earlier that by listening to Lil Wayne's music in about 2011, 12, I know dates are...
Objection, Your Honor, to testifying.
Outstanding question. I'm not worried about dates. But before you ever used, with Jeffrey, or anybody in that circle used Slime, where did you hear that term?
From the music artist, from when?
Okay, for the musical artist, Lil Wayne? Okay. Are you familiar with a song, Look at Me Now?
Yes.
Do you know it came out in 2011? If you don't, just say I don't know the year.
I don't know the year.
Who sings Look at Me Now? What song you know?
Lil Wayne and Chris Brown.
In that song, do you know whether Lil Wayne refers to slime?
Yes.
Is that one of the songs that you adopted, slime, the use of the word slime?
No, that's not. That song probably, that's song kind of new. Well, it ain't that new, but yeah.
It was maybe a different song?
Objection.
It's the same.
You asked me what song? Oh,
Yeah, another question. Do you remember what song? If you don't, that's fine.
no, I don't remember.
That's fine. Okay. Now, I'd like to show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams' number 12. And tell me whether you recognize this, okay? You want me to approach? You may, sir. You recognize number 12. I didn't mean to throw it.
Yes.
And what is, how do you recognize number 12?
It's an album cover.
And is number 12 depict the way that you understand and you've seen the album cover in the past?
Yes.
Is there anything different about number 12 versus the album cover that you've seen in the past?
No.
And do you recognize the person in number 12, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
And is there any doubt in your mind that number 12 is not accurate of what the album cover looks like that you've seen in the past? So let me ask you a better question. Is number 12 accurate to the album cover that you've seen in the past?
He's doing a different pose, but this from the album cover though.
Okay. Your Honor, I will move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 12.
Any objections to defendant Williams 12?
No objection.
All right, defendant Williams 12 is admitted, which is usually fit.
Okay, Mr. Stevens, who is that in Mr. Williams, number 12?
Jeffrey Williams.
And what color is the garment? What colors are the garment that Mr. Williams is shown wearing in number 12?
White top and
What the fuck is that? What the actual F? Little Blue Riding Hood. I guess it's fashion. But Little Blue Riding Hood, I don't know what. But it's not red. It's not red. The only one who wears red in this trial is Assistant District Attorney Blood. Oh, sorry, Love. Whoopsie.
blue bottom, sky blue bottom,
And how about the hat?
white top. Yeah.
And the hat, and if you answer that question, just say I've answered the question.
Yes.
Okay.
White.
Okay. And how would you describe, if you could describe that garment? Would you say that that's a dress?
Yes.
Okay. And how many entertainers did you know at the time, male entertainers, were wearing dresses on their album covers?
Relevance and relevance.
Point of the question, I'll sustain the question.
Did you ever see another album cover with the entertainer in a dress who's a man?
Objection.
Sustained.
How about the necklace? You see the necklace or the necklaces on Mr. Williams?
Yes.
How would you describe how many necklaces do you see?
I just know there's several of them.
Okay, that's fine. And would you describe the top two necklaces as tight around the neck?
Yes.
Do you remember which album this is from, the album cover?
Jeffrey. Yeah.
And to your knowledge, this album, was it widely popular on social media?
Yes.
Are you familiar with whether Jeffrey has children?
Excuse me. My bad. Keep yawning. Yes.
And do you know how many, and tell the ladies and gentlemen jury, how many children Jeffrey has?
I don't know the exact. I think about 5 or 6.
Fine. And do you remember growing up calling a location Haiti?
Yes.
Explain that to the ladies and gentlemen jury, what Haiti is.
Set apartments on Cleveland Avenue.
And do you know why it's called Haiti, or why you call it Haiti?
Yes.
Tell the jury.
It was from my understanding of what the actual place Haiti was like. It was, from my understanding, Haiti was like run down. And,
The country?
yeah. It was, yeah.
Did you place on your body a tattoo with the word Haiti?
Yes.
Did we see that earlier when you were being shown pictures of tattoos?
No, it's on my leg. No, it's on my leg.
That's fine. Do you know if you know, is one of Jeffrey's daughters named Haiti?
Yes.
And do you know, if you know, does Jeffrey have his children tattoos names on his,
Objection, relevance.
That's the objection. Are you familiar with Jeffrey's tattoos, or some of them? How about on his face?
Yeah.
Do you know whether Jeffrey has Haiti on his face, tattooed on his face, if you know?
No, I think hate on his chest.
That's fine. Okay. Jonesboro South. You know Jeffrey to come from there?
Yes.
Okay. Until it was torn down?
Yes.
Does Jeffrey have Jonesboro South, if you know, tattooed on his body?
Yes.
Where would that be, if you know?
Oh yeah, that's what's on his chest.
Okay.
My bad.
It's okay. So Jonesboro South is tattooed on Jeffrey's chest as far as your memory?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Do you remember there being a McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue at one time?
Yes.
Do you know the address by any chance?
No.
That's fine. Do you know can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, jury, some of the businesses that are around that McDonald's? Well, let's start here. Make sure we're talking about the same McDonald's. Do you know the cross streets that McDonald's that you're talking about, to make sure that I'm talking about the same one?
Yeah.
What streets?
Mount Zion and Cleveland Avenue.
And can you tell, ladies and gentlemen, jury, what stores are near that McDonald's when it was there?
Excuse me. Auto parts store, a gas station, a Church's Chicken restaurant, and a car laundry.
Is that McDonald's, to your knowledge, in business today?
No.
When that McDonald's was operating or in business, when it was open to the public, do you know whether it had any cameras, surveillance cameras? Did you ever notice that?
I probably wasn't paying attention to them.
That's fine.
Pretty sure they did. All stores I can. Oh, my bad. My bad.
I stand objection. You can rephrase, please.
Let me show you what I don't believe is admitted into evidence yet. May I approach, Your Honor? You may, sir. May I approach you, Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams #1 for the upper corner. I'll do that. Can you take a look at that? Just orient yourself to Mr. Williams #1 and tell me whether you recognize what is shown in Mr. Williams #1.
Yes.
And is Mr. Williams #1 accurate as of the time that this photograph was taken, whatever time? Is it accurate as far as what your memory and the surrounding areas that you described to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Object is to fairness.
I stand objection. You can rephrase the foundation if you can, Mr. Steele.
Is Mr. Williams #1 accurate of what it depicts or what it shows?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything from your observations in the past, anything different about #1 as to the general layout of those buildings and those streets?
No.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams #1.
Any objections to defendant Williams 1 now?
Your Honor, I just asked for a little bit more clarity, or asked for it.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Stevens, at what time or what year is it that the imagery in Defendant's Exhibit #1 reflect? What year is it that you're talking about that it accurately reflects? Do you know?
What year this picture was taken?
Yeah, yes.
No.
When you were asked by Mr. Steele, does it reflect the year that you remember? What did you understand him to be saying?
I thought he said that this area, I understood him to be saying that this how this area look, ever.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay, at what time did that area look like that?
I remember them remodeling this McDonald's, so since them remodeling this McDonald's, that's how it looked.
And around the time, no exact year, just, do you have any frame of reference to tell me when they remodeled that McDonald's?
I remember
Why are you giggling at him? Why is this laughable for you? Assistant District Attorney Love. Why is this funny? Why is this funny to you? Why do you keep looking down? I know we can have fun at the witness, or we can take it seriously, because we are not the assistant district attorney in the court today. I'm a commenter with a law degree. I can do stuff like that. You doing it, it's unprofessional.
when they remodeled it and it started looking like that.
All right, fair enough. Your Honor, I would ask for a little bit more clarity as to the time frame or something, but.
They still need some more foundation. Still, I'm saying objection to the time here.
How about using the October 2014 date? I'm just talking about that arrest that you referred to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And before, around that time, is that the way that area looked? Before you were arrested, approximately October 2014?
This McDonald's looked like this before I left for prison.
Okay. And when did you leave for prison, unfortunately?
2015.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of number one.
No objection.
D1's admitted that he publishes you see that?
Sorry. Okay, now, we are going to use that with another witness, Your Honor, but thank you, sir. With regards to snitch, do you remember the district attorney asking you about a snitch?
Yeah.
What that word meant to you?
Yeah.
And you said something to the effect of a person who works with the police. Did you say something
Objection,
like
Your
that?
Honor. Mischaracterization.
I stand.
Did you say something like that?
Yeah.
Now, to you, since you were asked about by district attorney, does a snitch mean someone who lies?
It could.
And does a snitch mean somebody who was given an incentive? That may be a bad word. Let me change it. Is a snitch someone who benefits by testifying for the prosecution? Is that your understanding of that word?
It could.
You were asked about rat. Remember the district attorney asked you about rat? And if you don't remember, just say, I don't remember.
I thought she said she, I know. I thought she just was talking about snitch.
Okay, all right. I want to talk with you. Do you remember being asked questions about something called false flagging? Do you remember something like that?
Yes.
Tell ladies and gentlemen, jury, how you, Mr. Stevens, understand the phrase false flagging. If at all, in any context, the way you understood the question.
I really don't understand what she asked.
Okay. Have you heard that term before?
Yes.
Do you know, and if you don't know, say fine. It's good. It's all good. It's what you know. Do you know, and can you tell us what false flagging means to you in the context of a supposed criminal street gang? Can you tell ladies and gentlemen what you understand, if at all? If you say I don't understand what you're saying, just say I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm only familiar with it because of like things I done heard. So I don't know if what I heard was true. So
That's fine. Okay. I want to go back to criminal street gang YSL. Okay?
Yeah.
You testified to that earlier in your testimony. Remember that?
Right.
All right. To join YSL, is there any type of pamphlet or Bible or rules that you're aware of if somebody wants to be YSL gang?
No.
Do you know whether in order to claim that they're part of YSL, somebody has to be beaten in? Do you know what beaten in means?
Yeah.
You learned that in juvenile detention center,
Yeah.
juvenile jail?
Yeah.
Is there any, to your knowledge, is there any type of requirement that to become a member or an associate of YSL, you have to be beaten in?
No, I know for a fact you don't have to be beaten.
How about to leave YSL criminal? I'm just talking about criminal street gang YSL. You described earlier. Is there any type of beating out to get out?
No,
Any type of being sex in, maybe a bad term, somebody having sexual relations with a number of people in order to become a member of YSL? Is that anything like that?
no,
How about paying money to enroll? Is there anything like that?
no,
How about paying money to get out of criminal street gang YSL? Anything like that?
no,
Is it true, from your understanding, your experience, and your testimony, that anybody can claim to be YSL?
yes,
Do you have to know them and approve them?
no,
Do they owe anything?
That's a weird gang. No approval, anybody can call themselves. Yeah, I agree. He is so respectful, considerate. He is more or less walking with the witness. Let's get you through this. While the assistant district attorney Love laughs at him, is condescending.
To you?
no,
Do they have to come to you and say, I'm going to commit a crime and on behalf of YSL? Does anything like that happen?
no,
Okay, with regards to Kenneth Copeland. Woody, remember we were talking about Woody?
yes,
If you don't know, just say, I don't know. Is he from the Cleveland Avenue area?
no,
Do you know what area Mr. Kenneth Copeland or Woody is from? If you know, and if you don't know, just say, I don't know.
think from Mechanicsville. Or Carver Home, one of them, Carver Homes,
Carver Homes.
yeah,
And when you say one of them, what was the other one?
Mechanicsville,
Or Mechanicsville?
yeah,
Some of the jurors may not be familiar with those areas. Just you, if you don't mind, and if you know, use Cleveland Avenue and describe where would Carver Homes be compared to Cleveland Avenue at the time you're talking about, at some time.
both of those places probably 15-minute driving distance,
From Cleveland Avenue.
yeah,
And if you know Carver Homes and Mechanicsville, how close are they to each other if you can orient the jurors to that? If you know, and if you don't know, just say, I'm not sure.
probably 5-minute drive distance from each other, 5, 7,
You said 5 minutes approximately?
yeah,
Okay, and you're approximating, right?
right.
Okay. When is the first time that you remember meeting with Woody? Like, my word would be hanging out with, that may be a bad term, but if you know. If you don't know, say, I don't.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. Okay, 1 second.
You may, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Quick reminder, please hit that thumbs up for the stream so YouTube picks me up and recommends me to other people. Let me crush that glass ceiling that is the YouTube algorithm. Thank you.
I'd like to show you what I will mark. It's Mr. Williams' number, I believe I'm up to 24. 25, 26, 27, and 28. Can you give me 1 second, please?
Yeah, you have to remember, Mr. Steele only represents Mr. Williams. The other 5 defendants have their own lawyers, and they will probably go about it in the same fashion. Yeah, we saw earlier the courts, Fulton County District Attorney's Office, what was it? $31.5 million in 2022 budget, and got extra money for 2023 and 2024. I would assume these 4 RICO trials that will happen during 2024, or might happen, that is at least half that budget.
Can I ask Mr. Kokomo to approach? If you don't mind. With your computer, if you don't mind. Can you show the DN? Can you show the DA because they're not in color? Add one all the way through this one. Excluding this one. Including. Excluding.
I did a quick search. What is the backlog of the Fulton County courts? In June of 2022, the number of cases in that backlog, 206,000 cases in the Fulton County backlog. And District Attorney Fanny Willis is spending money on 4 cases. Yeah. 206,000 in June of 2022. Yeah, but as I said earlier, as I said in previous streams, small cases don't win elections. Big cases do. And District Attorney Fanny Willis is going for Attorney General in the next election. She needs these wins. And she is spending millions of the District Attorney's Office money, but there are a lot of money, on 4 big cases. Yeah, Judge Manning's, I've seen his pre-trials. There are people who have been in lockup a year, 2 years, without indictments. It's insane.
Come on. Come on. Thank you. Starts that.
Yeah, sorry, Judge Manning is her.
That's why I asked them to show you on. Your Honor, may I approach with Mr. Kokomo and Mr. Stevens?
We are currently 15 minutes behind, and I don't think they will have any lunch
I'm
today.
just showing you.
I asked that they not be published to the jury. I know he's not doing it intentionally, but Mr. Kokomo has them facing the jury.
I'm just showing you what's been marked as Mr. Williams number 24 and 29. If these are not colored, that's why I asked Mr. Kokomo to come up. So you could use them for the numbers, but the screen, Mr. Kokomo, would be accurate. Exhibit I'm going to ask you about, okay?
26. 27.
That's the thing when you have taxpayers' money at hand. You can.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kokomo.
There's no
Mr.
shareholders.
Stevens, I'm just going to go in order if you don't mind.
Just
If you
taxpayers.
need to see the color again, just let us know. Number 24 that's in front of you in black and white.
I know. I said wrong. I know. My apologies to Judge Manning. I know it's a her. Sorry.
Williams number 24, do you recognize that exhibit?
You asked me, do I know who it is? Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who's in that, who's depicted or shown in that exhibit?
yeah, yeah.
And do you have any reason to believe from the computer screen, because that's really the exhibit, that there is any alterations to that, or is it accurate in what you know 24 to be?
Your Honor, I object to the form of that question regarding the computer screen being the basis for the accurate foundation is the question on.
I sustain this to form.
Why is she allowed speaking objections?
Okay. Is 24 accurate in what it depicts,
Yes,
based upon your knowledge and belief?
yes,
And number 25, if you could look at that. Do you recognize number 25 in the person who's in it?
yes,
And is that an accurate depiction of the person who you are familiar with in number 25?
yes,
Do you have any reason to believe that there's been any modifications or changes?
no,
And you know that person to look.
no,
Number 26. Do you recognize the person in number 26?
yes,
And does it accurately reflect the way that person looks in number 26?
yes.
Have you seen these photographs before, by the way?
Free will.
Okay. We're going to go by numbers. Let's just get through 29. Is 29, you looking 29? Number 29, you recognize the person in that picture.
Yes,
And does it accurately reflect the person who you know on that picture?
yes.
You can identify that person?
On 29.
Yes, sir.
Which person? There's a couple people on 29.
Okay. Do you recognize any of the people in 29?
Yes,
Okay. Do you recognize all the people in 29?
no,
Which numbers, and just use the numbers, do you recognize, have seen before, and that there's no alterations to any of the pictures?
Objection as to compound.
I sustain the question.
Which numbers, and you could go one by one, starting 24, do you recognize that you've seen before and it's accurate in the
Yeah.
depiction?
Objection as to vagueness. Which numbers do
I
you?
sustain the question. Mr. Steele, let's be kind of clear. Why don't you just take them through like one at a time? Like we start out with defense 24.
Mr. Stevens, look at this, Mr. Williams, number 24.
yeah,
Do you recognize that photograph?
yes,
Have you seen that photograph before?
yes,
Anything material or immaterial, meaning little, that has been changed in number 24?
no,
All right, I move for the admission number 24, Your Honor.
Any objection to defendant Williams 24 now?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd ask to approach.
All right, come on up, please.
So,
She will object to everything, but she is the prosecutor. She is supposed to. And that brings us to sidebar counter 52. This is the 16th trial day, And we are up to 52 sidebars. Hello, Fed. Good to have you here. Oh, stop buffering. See here. Are they back there? Nope. Okay, that's sat down again there. Stop buffering. Nope. No. No lunch break today. Nope, apparently not. Yeah, some of that. Come on. Dun, dun, dun.
So, and since as promised, it's almost 1:40. So, and since I know you all haven't had lunch and we had kind of an abbreviated schedule, we're going to go ahead and stop for the day. So,
Okay.
where's Mr. Stevens? Mr. Stevens? We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Okay? Don't discuss testimony of anybody except the attorneys in this case. Okay? Thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to recess for today, and as I just mentioned earlier, we will start up tomorrow morning. Now, if you all could be here for 9:30.
All right, that's it for today. They started an hour and a half late today. The least amount of lateness I've seen in this trial so far is 20 minutes. The most is 90 minutes, as today. I'm glad we had something to educate each other with during everything. But yeah, this means we are all caught up. I will start my stream tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. because I need to get back from work. I need to work and get back from work before I start. And we already know they will be late, and we will catch up. We will. And so yeah. Oops. There. So that's it for today. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Oh, I haven't got you a redirect yet. Forgot that one. Sorry. Customization. Redirect. Who's on now? Bum, bum, bum. Crime Spice. All right. Crime Spice is a fairly new channel. I sent you all off there last week. So I'll be sending you over to her. Listen to her, subscribe to her, like everything she's ever done, as you do with me. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, thank you. I will see you all back here tomorrow. Bring friends. Support my channel, you know? All right. See you around. Bye-bye.